welcome on in here to Sur La Grace. This is a premiere show from Sur La Grace where we're talking about natural products that enhance your life. My name is Cathy Pedrayes, and with me is Megan from Sacred Leaf. So this entire show, we're going to be talking about some topical products, and then we're going to be moving on to some edibles. And we have products with THC, we have products without THC. So stay with us as we walk through each one. It really is a fully packed show. So we're going to kind of rock and roll here. But before we get into all of the items, just tell me a little bit about, Sacred Leaf as a brand.
Sure. Sacred Leaf is a very transparent brand. So we actually are a seed-to-store company. It never leaves our hands. So we can ensure that you're getting exactly what you're getting. And this is also going to be proven by our labs. Our labs are third-party tested, but also batch tested. So you know exactly that you're getting that milligram that says it on the container there.
And it's something that you'll notice on some of the products as well, that there's QR codes on the actual packaging. Like, for example, right here.
And that's your batch test.
Right. Yeah. That's your QR code. And so you'll be able to, when you get this home, a lot of these products have this. So you'll be able to, it's kind of like quality assurance. You'll see exactly where the lab was. It'll be able to confirm the amount of CBD that are in the products and all of that. So first, we're going to start with topicals. And when we talk about topicals, we're more often talking about pain and things like that,
these
right?
These are going to be concentrated topicals. They're not going to be just a lotion. In our last show, that was more spread out, like 8-ounce container. Mm-hmm. These are small containers, 2-ounce concentrated. So you're going to be using a small amount when you're applying, and it's going to be a spot treatment instead of a full body treatment.
Gotcha. Okay, so the first thing that we have is this full spectrum pain cream. They come in 2-ounce jars, and there's a couple of different options here. So there's the 500 milligrams with or without THC. That's going to be $69. And then there's also 1,000 milligrams without THC, and that's going to be $124. So there's a couple of options. Talk to me about what it means when, we say full spectrum.
Right. So as she was saying, the full spectrum pain cream, this is going to be full plant. You're going to get the terpenes. You're going to get that trace amount of THC. The legal amount is 0.3% or less. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to make you high or anything like that, but you are going to get that in a full spectrum product. You're also going to get all of the other cannabinoids in there, which is 113 cannabinoids that are researched at the moment. There are at least over 400, but I do know at least 113 that you're going to get in this product here.
Wow.
When you move over to something with zero THC or broad spectrum, you may be still getting those terpenes and some of those cannabinoids in there, but you're not going to be getting any of that THC in there. So they removed the 0.3% amount. So it is a zero THC product, and it does come in a 500 milligram and 1,000 milligram.
Okay, so that's here. Can you put these two, just stack them on top of each other so I can see the difference?
So this is the zeros, this is the 500, and then this is the 1,000. And then you have your full spectrum 500. That's with the white lid, and then the red writing there.
Okay,
see the difference there?
Yeah, so the one with the white lid, that one does not have THC.
Right.
The ones with the black lids, the two ones that are stacked on top of each other, those do have THC.
No. Other way.
Sorry,
yeah,
the other way around.
Okay, yeah. So the red writing here with the white lid, that's your full spectrum. That's with the trace amount of THC.
Got it.
And then the black lids with just the white labels here with that green for the 500 and that black down there. These are the zero THC.
Got it. But the one that has the full spectrum THC, that one also has more of the plant extracts that you were talking about.
So anytime they say full spectrum, just think of full plant. You're getting everything in there. So basically with full spectrum, the plant just works together more synergistically. Okay. When you get something that's zero THC, CBD still works. Yeah. I mean, that's the main ingredient anyway. So you're going to get the benefit of just that CBD.
So because we're calling these pain creams, what kinds of pains do people use these for?
So personally, I use it for my back. So that's kind of how I got into CBD, is I was a customer. So I use it for chronic back pain. I know some people also use it for headaches. You can put it on your temples. You can put it on the back of your neck. And a little goes a long way. So when you're looking at the 500 milligrams, as far as dosing, you're really just going to use a rice size to pea size. Pea size is about the right amount to get that relief right away. These are very fast acting. They're not going to be like, oh, waiting around. Oh, when is it going to kick in? It is very instant. I know with my clients, we do CBD massages in our store, and they get relief real quick when they use the pain cream.
Now, what's the difference between picking up like a 500 milligram or 1,000 milligram?
Sure. The 500 milligram will probably last you, if it's chronic pain and you're using it every single day, I usually say 2 to 3 months. If you're using it on occasion, about 6 months.
Okay.
The 1,000 milligram, you're using just a rice size amount. So think about how long that's going to last you. I know a lot of my customers, it takes them about 6 months to a year before I see them again when it comes to their pain cream,
So that's the big difference. The 500 milligrams, maybe you'll use a little bit more.
Right. It's dosing is basically the main difference there.
Right. And then the 1,000 milligrams, because you're using less of it, it might last you a little bit longer. Now, in terms of pricing, the ones that are 500 milligrams, those are both $69. And the 1,000 milligrams are $125. I think we have some graphics to kind of go along with that. So, sorry, $124. There you go. So that is the one that you'll use less of. So that's why, you have that increased price. And then $69 for the 500 milligram pain creams. Talk to me about the scents with these as well.
Right. So these are almost all the way unscented. There's a tiny bit of a little bit of a citrus scent to it. It's very light. As soon as you put it on, it's going to go away pretty quickly. We really wanted to have something, for our customers that wouldn't be irritating, if they're sensitive to, any kind of essential oils, because the rest of our topicals are going to have some of those essential oils in there, more for like a hot, cold feel.
Right.
So the ones sensitive to like hot, cold, or menthol, things like that, you're not going to find that in these pain creams. And that's kind of why we formulated those this way.
Okay. And talk to me also about how, about you guys not using synthetics in the products and kind of those, the way you guys formulate things.
Right. Yeah. So we are cruelty free. We do not test on animals. They are completely made from USDA certified organic hemp, and any kind of oils or anything we use in there, they are organic as well.
Great. And, I know when we think about our products, we love thinking of animals and products that are cruelty free. So you're getting that here. You're also getting, that pain cream, which you can use on your back, on your knee, different kinds of injuries. It doesn't have to be a chronic injury too, right? It could be kind of like...
It can be like a sore muscle. If like you did something at the gym and you're just like, I'm not sure, let me put some cream on it. Just take a little dab and just rub it on there and you'll feel that relief. It'll help with that pain and inflammation. Take that inflammation out of there and help with that healing process.
And how does that work? Because, it's something that we're putting on top of our skin, but it's really penetrating.
Right. So CBD, as you know, talks with our receptors. We have an endocannabinoid system, and CBD is kind of like the guide with that system. The cannabinoids inside of that endocannabinoid system need to be guided, and CBD helps guide that to the areas of where you're applying it. So whether it's internally or externally, that's going to signal that brain and say, hey, come help me over here.
And by the way, we do have some internal products in the show as well. We're starting off with some topicals, but later on as we move on, we have some edibles, some hard candy, some honeys, something that helps specifically with sleep. So the show is going to be a little combination of both. So in terms of the products, here, let's bring this one over again, because I just want you to show me the THC without THC. Sure. Tell me the difference again.
Sure.
And then I'll remind everyone about the pricing.
Right. So the white top label is your full spectrum. Remember, this is going to be your legal amount of THC, the 0.3% or less. And then when you head over to these two options here, these are the 0 THC options, the 500 milligram and then the 1,000.
So the 500 milligram options with THC or without THC, those are both $69 because there's less CBD oil in it. You're going to use, maybe you go through it a little bit faster depending on how often you need it. If you're using it occasionally or if you're using it daily.
This is a great one for like on occasion if you want, maybe you don't have chronic pain, but you just want to have something just in case you need it for a time and you just don't, something's hurting. This is a great cream for that.
And Megan said with the 500 milligram, we're talking about a pea-sized amount, but with the 1,000 milligram, which is $124, we're talking about a rice-sized amount. Right. So you get, more use out of it. You're using less of it because there's a higher concentration of that CBD. So that's really the main difference there. They're all for targeting pain, whether it's chronic or occasional. It's just a matter of what kind of dose do you want. And maybe if, as Megan said, if you are suffering with chronic pain, then that's something you may want the higher dose. And actually, if you do have chronic pain, stay with us because we're going to have a bundle coming up in the show where you can really target different pain in different ways. It's going to be a 3-piece bundle. So we'll talk about that. But for now, let's move on to the CBD hemp oil foot cream. So this is $74. It's a full spectrum foot cream. It has 1,000 milligrams of the CBD rich hemp oil right there, but you're not going to find THC in this product. Is that right?
Right. It is 0 THC.
Okay.
This is actually formulated specifically for diabetics and neuropathy pain. So we wanted to have something that we could help them not just with, the pain creams, but also with essential oils that are and have been proven to help those conditions.
So what are some of those essential oils that we find?
So you're going to find your spearmint, your eucalyptus. You're going to find, I believe, tea tree also is going to be in there as well.
Okay. Can I see the texture of it?
Yeah, of course. It's going to be more of a lotion feel. It's not going to be a heavy cream feel, and it's going to absorb very quickly. The peppermint is pretty strong, but it's really nice and cooling on the bottom of the feet, but you can also take it up through the leg as well.
Well, that's nice because sometimes we don't want something too thick. I'm just gonna.
There's frankincense as well, and frankincense is a great essential oil to have in your products.
It smells really nice too. My grandma used to do a lot of pain type products, and sometimes the scent was so overbearing that I was like, oh my god, you smell like a menthol.
Sometimes that menthol is woo, and it burns your eyes. In our topicals, we don't tend to put that much menthol in there. There actually is no menthol in this. It's strictly just those essential oils, and that's why we're able to use this for those issues that people do suffer from when they have neuropathy and diabetes.
And she was diabetic as well, so that's probably why why she used it all the time. But sometimes it was just so overpowering. So this has a nice, subtle scent. You're not going to be walking around like my grandma smelling I don't even know. I guess it was the menthol. I don't know what it was. I just know I didn't like the scent. So $74 gets this home. By the way, this foot cream is 4 ounces, 1,000 milligrams of that CBD. Again, no THC. And it was specially formulated for people with diabetic and neuropathy challenges, right? And is that something that you get a lot of in your shop?
Quite a bit. A lot of our customers will bring in their parents or even their grandparents. They're a little shy about taking CBD, and this is literally the one thing they buy every single time. Most of them suffer from neuropathy and diabetic challenges, and so this is their favorite thing to get in the store.
But this one is something that we're just supposed to use on our feet, right? If we have headaches and things like that.
You can still, that's what's nice about it. It's versatile too. So yes, you can put it on your feet. Yes, you can put it up the legs a little bit. But if you're having back pain, you can still put it there. If you have a migraine, I don't know if you knew this, but with peppermint is also proven to shown to help reduce headaches and migraines. So if you want to rub a little bit on the temples, that's a good spot to put that there.
So then what's the difference between the foot cream and the pain cream?
Right. So this is going to be, the pain cream is going to be your highly concentrated. So you're going to go through the foot cream a little bit quicker. That's why we packed it with 1,000 milligrams of CBD. But it's an amazing cream. So I know the cost is a little bit less, but that's also because you are going to be going through it a little bit quicker than you would a pain cream. Gotcha.
And remember, it's also double the size. The foot cream is 4 ounces. The pain creams are 2 ounces. So that's where that concentration comes in that Megan's talking about. So you're getting 1,000 milligrams, but it's in 4 ounces, so that you'll go through it a little bit more. And also, this is meant for your feet.
It's kind of made for a larger surface areas, and so that's why you will be using more of that.
Yeah, and if you missed earlier, it's definitely a lighter kind of lotion feel versus a heavy thick cream. Sometimes when we think of foot lotions, they're usually very cakey and thick,
and then you walk on the floor and you leave footsteps all over your wood floors.
And then you slip on it later because that thing doesn't disappear. So this is not that. And does wearing it with socks, does that help with
Actually
absorption?
Really good, yes. And it's going to feel really good as well. It kind of holds in that cooling feeling, and that's really soothing for people who have that annoying, that if you've ever had nerve pain, it's just annoying pain that you're like, can you just go away?
And then it won't rub off on your floors and your sheets and things like that.
Right.
Okay, so that's the foot cream. $74, 4 ounces, 1,000 milligrams of the CBD. Now let's move on to, this is the pain salve.
Yes, this is actually going to contain menthol. So you're gonna, it's not as overpowering as you think it is. It's very light.
So this one, 1,000 milligrams in a 2-ounce jar here, sells for $124. And tell me about the difference between this and some of the the pain creams that we talked about before. You mentioned it has menthol. So why is that different?
So this is actually, it actually has almost 50 essential oils in here.
Okay.
And it's going to create the hot cold feel. So a lot of people, you know, whether they're working out or if they're needing, you know, maybe they don't want to put an ice pack on, or maybe they don't want to put a heating pad on.
Gotcha.
They love this cream. So they don't have to, you know, they can just apply it. It's easy. And you're getting all those benefits from those essential oils in this.
And is the cream, is it thick? Is it greasy? What is it?
Yeah, I can show you. So it's not going to be like your typical salve. A typical salve is more like a Vaseline feel. This is actually a little bit more like a lotion feel. So you can tell like it's not burning your eyes when you smell it.
And it's kind of like plushy too. I mean, I have just a little bit on the cap here, but you can see here, it's just kind of like that pillowy.
Right.
Here, wait, let me see. Let me show you. Just kind of like pillowy and plushy, kind of like a gelatin, like a little bit. And then, hang on, I'm just going to smell it here. You grab that. Oh, you're right. It's not overwhelming at all.
Not at all. It doesn't burn your eyes. Normally when you have something that's menthol and you breathe it in, your eyes start watering. I'm
getting a little, like something fruity in here too. Like a cantaloupe. Is it just the color that's making me think of cantaloupe?
The color is amazing.
No, but I'm getting something refreshing from there. It must be one of
There's like eucalyptus in there too. There's arnica. I don't know if you know much about arnica, but arnica is really good as well.
No, what are the benefits of arnica?
Arnica is definitely for those anti-inflammatory properties.
Okay.
And then the pain relieving as well.
So this is for if you have inflammation, it's for pain relief. It's a salve. It has that menthol, so it's a little bit different from some of the pain creams and foot creams that we talked about earlier because you're getting that hot and cold sensation here, which it almost feels like putting like a cold and warm compress on, right? Like it just helps you kind of recover. It gives you that feeling. $124 gets this home. And you do have 1,000 milligrams of the CBD, but in this one as well, there's no THC, right?
There is no THC, no. And I think the fruitiness that you smell in there is pink grapefruit.
Oh, okay. Cantaloupe is, I mean, not exactly close.
I mean, it kind of looks like cantaloupe.
It does look like cantaloupe, so I may have been projecting a little bit as to like what I wanted it to be. But no, but I love grapefruit. We've talked about that a little bit earlier. Okay, so let's move on to the freeze roller, because now that we're talking about things being hot and cold, a freeze roller really makes sense. So this has 500 milligrams of the CBD. Again, no THC. And it's $74 to get this home. So what is a freeze roller?
So I don't know if you've ever heard of like BioFreeze or something like that. Like it's pretty similar, but this is really easy to use, and that's why I like it. So if I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to throw this in my bag, and when I get done, if I work my legs too hard and they're sore, I can just roll it on there. It's really easy to use. A lot of people enjoy traveling with this as well. If you don't want to take one of the pain creams with you, this is great. It's also easy to use. So if you can't reach an area, when you're using a pain cream, this is really nice because you can just reach behind, if you're doing the back area, or even on the back of the neck.
Can I see the roller function?
So it just unscrews. So it's not like a pop lid. So you're not going to like waste any. So
it's not going to come off in your bag or
right.
your luggage or anything. Oh, you definitely get a little bit more of that menthol with this one.
And there's eucalyptus in there. There's also peppermint. So you're going to get a little bit of a hot, cold feel with that.
Wow, that really like cleans my nostrils. Like I was like, whew.
And there's also arnica in that one as well. And I think boswellia as well.
So remind me again of all these ingredients sound very fancy. Like what are the benefits of that? Oh, you're right. I see boswellia right here.
Yep. So they're all going to be healing. They've all been proven to heal the pain and inflammation. If you have chronic pain, this is a great product for that. It's just fast acting. It absorbs very quickly. It's not going to leave a residue on your skin either, which is nice. So you don't have to worry about like a film after you put it on there and you get it on like your shirt, like kind of like with other topicals I've used that are hot and cold. I'll get it on my shirt, then it's in my hair. And then I'm like, later on, I'm like, what's this? This will go in right away and you won't have to worry about that.
And it does have 500 milligrams of that CBD. So you can see right there on your screen, it's meant for, reducing pain. It's fast acting, it's all natural, and it is, a powerful combination of ingredients. Again, we're talking about eucalyptus, menthol, the peppermint oil. We have arnica in here, boswellia. Now, when we say fast acting, what does that mean? Like how fast?
Like it absorbs very quickly, like within minutes.
So if I had some pain, this will help me get relief
very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yes. And you'll find that with any of our topicals. I know we were talking about the body lotion in the last, that's going to take a lot longer to take effect. Something with a pain topical and why we have pain topicals is some of us actually want results right away.
Right.
Because we're impatient.
Right.
And that's what that gives us.
So you get more of like that instant gratification there.
Right.
By the way, $74 for the freeze roller. Now, I did mention we have, if you are somebody who struggles with pain, whether that's chronic pain or occasional pain, whatever it might be, we do have a 4-piece set, a bundle that's coming up in the show as well, which we're going to talk about. But I just wanted to quickly kind of review how we started the show, and also because some products have THC and some products don't.
Right.
So I just want Megan to, remind us of, we started with the pain cream. The pain cream is 2 ounces, and there's a couple of options. There's the 500 milligrams and there's the 1,000 milligrams. So it just depends on, how much pain you have, what the concentration is that you'd like. But then remind me, why do some products have THC and some products not have THC?
Right. So this is going to be your full spectrum. So this is going to have your 0.3% or less. And then these are going to be the ones where we take that out. So you're going to get a 0 THC product here. And it's mainly just because some people get drug tested and they just don't want to risk it. So just get the broad spectrum. It's easy like that. It's still going to work. You're going to get great results. If you don't have to worry about drug testing, then just grab the full spectrum here.
Right. Because even though it's a very small amount of THC, sometimes it's still...
Yep. We just don't risk it. We're very, very open and honest with our customers. We always have been. And you'll find that with the rest of these products. That's why we have so many, is you have the option to do both. And we also have kids that use our products. So we want to make sure that it is completely 0 THC for them as well.
And not a lot of brands, you had mentioned, not a lot of brands have the option.
Right. They don't. Usually it's a full spec option, but it's still that low level and we're just not willing to risk it.
Right. And with Sacred Leaf, by the way, they've been in the business for 4.5 years producing these kinds of products. They also have some really large farms where you guys do this.
Yes.
Can you talk to me about the farm?
Yes. So we grow in Colorado outdoors and about 12,000 acres. And then we grow indoors in Oregon. So we have both. So depending on the seasons, we're going to get different crops. And so you might notice, and this is actually what you want, if your CBD product is tasting the same year round, then you're not getting the full plant or the terpenes that you need in your product. Even in the broad spectrum, you can still get the terpenes. It doesn't have to be full spectrum. So you want it to be a little different each time. That means you're getting different batches, and that means we are growing through the seasons and that you are getting that full plant. So it will taste different throughout the seasons.
That makes sense because, the soil composition can change a little bit, rainwater, like the plants. I mean, a whole bunch of things can change. So we had the pain creams that we started the show with, 3 different options there. And by the way, you can find all of this on SurlaGrace.com. So not to worry. Then we had a foot cream. That one was 4 ounces, 1,000 milligrams of the CBD, and that's specifically formulated, but anybody could use it. But, it was formulated for or designed for people who struggle with diabetic types challenges and neuropathy. So we had that. Then we have, and by the way, that had no THC or has.
Right. All of these have no THC, just this one.
Right. Then the pain salve, also again, no THC, but 1,000 milligrams of that CBD. So that is in a 2-ounce jar, and that one has that hot and cold sensation. So we have pain relievers without the hot and cold sensation, and then we have ones with it.
Right.
So that's one version of it in the cream. And then another version is the freeze roller, which also has, is it the hot and cold or just a cold sensation?
It is the hot and cold.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the main difference between using like a freeze roller and a cream?
Yeah, so this is going to be half the concentration as the pain salve. The
Okay.
salve is 1,000 milligrams, and then your roller is 500. And it's really just if you want something convenient to use and take with you, this is the product that you want to put in your bag and go.
Right. Obviously, it's different application methods too,
Sure.
right? One of them's a roller, one of them's a little jar where, you know, you're taking the cream and applying it to the area. So if you have an area that's maybe a little bit harder to reach, the roller might be easier for you. Or, you know, if it's specifically for athletics, a lot of us, you know, because there's no THC, like you said, these are things that are safe for kids as well.
Right. So even my son, he's in football. We use this stuff all the time. So he loves it.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Or like shin splints. Like I know last year doing track, it really helped a lot with the shin splints.
Actually, I wore heels at a wedding and I got shin splints. Like I already felt like my shit, because, you know, after a year and a half or 2 years, however long it's been of just being at home, I haven't worn heels in forever. So I now wedding season is back. And I was like, man, my shins are hurting. And my friend was a nurse and she was with me. So she was like, oh, it's probably shin splints. And I was like, really? From wearing heels? Like, I feel really lame. You should get some shin splints from, you know, playing football or doing something athletic. No, I just put a different shoe on. But
so you could easily apply one of these and that would give you some relief.
I could have used that. All I did was just sit at the table all day. That was my way of finding relief. But yeah, you know, when we think about pain, sometimes we associate it with aging. Because we've had more injuries or, you know, we're more frail or whatever. But it's not just aging. You know, as you mentioned, your son plays football. There's kids that play all kinds of sports, basketball, whatever, cheerleading, like gymnastics, all kinds of things. And so when we think about these, don't just think about like grandma or anything like that, but think about other people in your life who, you know, can maybe come across injuries, which honestly all of us can. and then just rest assured that because there's no THC in it, you know, you're getting, it's really something that's appropriate for all ages, and you don't have to worry about it if your job has drug testing or anything like that, or they don't. There's no risk involved if there's no THC. And even the product that does have THC, it's very, very little.
Very little.
So, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that bundle, because this is a 4-piece pain relief set. Oh, the bath bomb. Okay, sorry. What I was like, I thought it was a bomb. No, bath bomb. Got it. Okay, so this is the 4-piece set. We don't have the bath bomb to show you, but you have it in the little picture there, so you can get a feel for it. So it comes with the bath bomb, 500 milligrams of that pain cream, 0 THC. Then we have the pain roller, the freeze roller that we just talked about. And then something a little new. So this is a tincture, 500 milligrams CBD oil tincture, broad spectrum. And I want to talk to you about the pricing for a moment, because it's $129. But if you were to purchase all 4 of these products separately, it would equal $232. So by picking it up as a 4-piece bundle today, you are saving $103. And again, this is something that's appropriate for, well, you tell me about the tincture, but generally this is something that's appropriate for all ages, right?
Right.
So we can split it up amongst our family. We can share.
Right. This is 0 THC. So, I mean, even if you're not okay with, you know, giving your kids CBD orally, that's okay. You start off with a topical with them, and they can use that if they have, you know, if they're an athlete and things like that, you can start there. And then maybe you and your husband can enjoy this little tincture here. So,
and what about the bath bomb?
Bath bomb is great for everybody.
Okay.
I'm like, who doesn't love a bath bomb?
So walk me through all the pieces in this set and the benefits.
And why? Yeah. So the reason why it's the ultimate pain set is you're getting everything all in one. It's like a full body internal benefits of CBD and also external. So you have the freeze roller, which is really easy to take with you. You're going to get that hot, cold feel. And then you're going to get the pain cream, which does not have that cold feel. So maybe if somebody in the family prefers something that doesn't have that, you can get that in this here. Okay. Then you have our BG tincture. So I know we haven't talked about this yet, so I can touch on it briefly.
Yeah.
This is a very versatile tincture. It's a 3-in-1 tincture. You're going to actually be able to vape this. You can put it underneath your tongue, like a sublingual method, or you can mix it in any beverage of your choice. So
does it have a taste?
No, you can get it in a natural flavor. You're going to taste a little bit of the terpenes because it is broad spectrum. This is 0 THC. So, but it comes in a lemon, orange, natural, or mint. So you're able to choose which flavor you prefer.
Gotcha. Now, what is a tincture?
So a tincture is basically a method where you have a bottle with a dropper.
Okay.
And that's basically how you're going to take it. So any tincture is going to look like this, whether the bottle is usually about 30 mil, it's 30 mil, sometimes 15 mil. So that's basically the tincture. It's going to have this little dropper here.
Oh, and it's clear.
Yep. VGs, you're going to see how it kind of drips slowly. Oil is going to be thinner. The VG stands for vegetable glycerin, so it is a little bit thicker. When you do put it in like a beverage or water, it just disappears. So it's nice because you can get a full body effect when you do drink your CBD. If you prefer the sublingual method, you actually don't have to hold it underneath your tongue as long as an oil because it is water soluble. So you can hold it underneath your tongue and then just swallow it.
And how much of it are we supposed to use?
So generally we like to do 1 milligram per 10 pounds of body weight. So you want to start small with CBD, and that actually, it might seem like a lot to some people. It's actually really not. So start small with CBD, see how you do for a couple of days, and then you can always add more, but just go slow in increments if you do need more than that.
And if it's our first time using it, you said to take a couple of days of trying it?
Yeah, so it's called microdosing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but you can start small and then just build slowly until you're like, oh, wow, I like how I feel and this is great.
So you'll feel a difference when you're using it. Now, what's the difference between, you know, a tincture and some of the external methods like the bath bomb, which we don't have here to show you, but it's on the graphic, or the freeze roller, or the cream?
Right. So this is going to be like really, like if it's a pain area, that's going to be your fast acting. You're going to hit those receptors where you're putting and applying that topical. Where a tincture, if it's sublingual, it's going to be a 15-minute response, absorbed into the bloodstream underneath the tongue. Okay. So some people prefer, that method. That's going to be more of your daily routine. Getting that CBD daily routine, that's the best way to get it is through that tincture there.
And is that more like full body because it's circulating?
Right. If it's underneath the tongue, it's going to go up here first, and then it's going to go full body. If you're drinking it, it's going to go full body first and then go up here.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, you know, with the freeze roller or with the cream, we're applying it to certain areas that might hurt the knees, the back.
Right. It's that spot quick. You know, if you constantly have chronic pain and inflammation, you want to take the tincture as well. Pairing those two together give the best results.
A real nice combination. Now tell me about the bath bomb, because this is a 4-piece set. You have the pain cream, the freeze roller, and the tincture that we just talked about, which is a 3-in-1. But then we also have a bath bomb. Now, how is that part of the pain relief story?
So the bath bomb is actually a pain relief bath bomb. And the reason why is because it has peppermint in it as well as your CBD. So peppermint is going to be soothing, it's going to be cooling, and that's also going to help with that pain and inflammation. And it's really nice at the end of the day. It's got this cocoa butter in it too, so it really makes your skin really silky smooth after you get out of the tub. And
you said that's something that, you know, kids or anybody can really enjoy. Do we have to use the whole bath bomb?
No, you can. I usually take a hammer and I'll hit it and like cut it in half. But sometimes I just throw the whole thing in.
Depends how much you want to treat yourself.
Right.
Now, what's the benefit of using like CBD in like a bath form versus, you know, the tinctures internal, the creams were kind of like spot treating?
So when you're in a bath with CBD, it's really going to help just any kind of skin, but also when the longer you're sitting in it, the more benefits you're going to be absorbing through that product. And so that's kind of, you know, depending on how long you're in there is really going to depend on your result. But it's very relaxing, especially at the end of the day. If you're hurting, if you're on your feet all day, it's a really good product to have.
And, you know, when you think about it, when we're taking a bath, it is something that's more of like a little treat, right? We get to have the nice bath. We're hopefully going to stay in there a little bit, usually until like the water gets cold. That's when we get out. So while the tinctures, you know, that one is a 15-minute, 15 minutes that you have to wait, delay, I guess, to get the effects. The other ones, the creams and the freeze rollers, those are faster. Those are just a couple minutes. So if you have more time, then the bath bomb is a good way to do that because, you know, you can relax and you can still use it with your tincture. I guess if you're going to take a bath, you wouldn't apply the cream or the freeze roller, right? Maybe afterwards you would do it.
Yeah. And you might not need it if you use a bath bomb. So yeah.
So it's a 4-piece set. No THC in any of these pieces. You get the bath bomb. You get the 500 milligram pain cream. That's a 2-ounce jar. Again, no THC. You have the pain roller, which is that CBD freeze roller. And then you also have the, oh, sorry. And in that, the pain roller, there's also 500 milligrams of the CBD. And then you have the 500 milligrams VG tincture, which is a 3-in-1. And all of these combined is $129 if you're picking it up as this value bundle 4-piece set. If you were to pick these all up separately, the price would be $232. So by picking it up as a bundle where you're getting 4 pieces, you're saving $103. And just remind me, because I keep saying the tincture is a 3-in-1, what are the 3-in-1 uses?
Right. So it's vapable. It's sublingual method, which means underneath your tongue, and then you can mix it in any beverage.
Okay. Perfect. And you said there's no taste or anything like that. Maybe a little bit from the plant.
Unless you want a flavor, we do. Yes, a little terpene taste in the natural, but it's very light. And you can also mix it with some kids. If they do take it, we like to put it in their juice, and they don't know it's in there. So.
And what are the flavors again?
The lemon, orange, mint, and natural.
Okay, so when you're picking up the bundle, you can also, choose the flavor, and that's probably how you would do it, because the other ones don't have flavors or anything like that. So there's no choices or anything to choose from.
Right, and it's important to know too that our flavors are not artificial. So they
Right.
are food grade essential oils, and they are safe for you to ingest.
Good point.
Yes, because there's some that aren't. So you got to watch out for that.
Well, I have like a big candy sweet tooth, so I feel like I've never even thought about that. Like I just eat anything if it tastes good. Okay, so just as a reminder, this show is a half and half. We started with topicals. We're about to transition into edibles, but it's a little mix of both topicals and edibles with THC, without THC. That's one of the benefits of the Sacred Leaf brand, is that you have the option to choose what you want and what works better for you. So we started, the topicals are really focused on pain and different versions of pain, different concentrations. We have the foot cream, the pain salve, the freeze roller, things like that. If you want the hot and cold sensation, we have products that address that. If you just want the concentrated pain cream, we have products that address that. And if you want a bundle that really addresses everything at once, because you have that hot and cold sensation, you have the internal tincture, and you have, the pain cream and the bath bomb, then we have that for you as well. So it really is a little mix, but then now we're going to move on to the edibles, which is a little different. We're starting with some sleep capsules for $74. It comes with a 30-day supply, 600 milligrams total of the active CBD in the entire bottle. Each dose is going to be 20 milligrams. So, but before we get into specifically the sleep support, talk to me about, the difference between this half of the show and that half of the show.
Right. So obviously, these are going to be ingestible. So over here was more topical. Mm-hmm. And so this was more external healing. This is going to be more internal healing. And so you're going to want, if you're an edible fan, this is definitely the show you want to see, because we have a wide variety.
Look like we've got these featuring candies. I love candy. So I feel like, you'll tell me about this, but I feel like I would eat this because I really love gummy bears. They're my favorite thing. And I can't take vitamins unless it's in a gummy format, right? Which we have. We have that for you.
Kids are that way too.
Yeah. It's the best invention in the world, putting vitamins and medicines in gummies. Yep. So, okay, let's start with the sleep support. How does this support my sleep?
So basically, it actually has 3 active ingredients, and it's going to be your CBD, which is the 20 milligrams of CBD. It's going to have 10 milligrams of valerian root. Okay. And then it's also going to have 10 milligrams of melatonin. So think of CBD. CBD, what does it do for sleep? What does it do even during the day? It shuts off that noise all around you, right? Okay. So if it's shutting off that noise, and you can lay down, and then you can fall asleep. And then the valerian root and that melatonin is going to keep you asleep. And so it's beneficial for people who can't fall asleep. Mm-hmm. And then it's beneficial also for the people who keep waking up at night. It's going to help them from doing that.
Now, am I going to struggle to wake up?
No, that's what's nice about it, is the CBD calms that down as well. So once you take it about 30 minutes to about an hour before bed, so it can kick in. And then it goes for that good 8 to 10 hours if you need 10 hours, but 8 hours is ideal. And then you should be refreshed when you wake up in the morning.
I used to work overnight hours. So it was like, from 3 to 7 a.m., 1 to 4 a.m., something like that. So my sleep time was 3 p.m. Or no, I'm sorry. That's when I would wake up. My sleep time was more like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., something like that. And when I first got on this kind of schedule, it was obviously difficult to adjust because you're used to sleeping at night like normal people. But when you're working at night, which by the way, a lot of people work at night, right? There's nurses, there's a lot of like emergency personnel that work at night. What I was doing was working at a station that was 24 hours. So, you know, we worked at night, anything that's like 24 hours. People have like all kinds of weird schedules. And, you know, it could be for yourself if you have trouble sleeping, but also think about maybe some other people in your life that might be in that situation, because when you don't get enough sleep, it really shows in a whole bunch of different ways. Your attitude, your skin that day. For me, if I don't get enough sleep, the next day my skin looks horrible.
Tired and that's under eye puffy.
And imagine that's only, you know, in one day. What happens in 4 months of not sleeping right, or 4 years of not sleeping right?
Right.
So sleep support is something that, you know, can help you with that. And there was a recent study done. I forgot who did the study, but it said something that like 70% of Americans only get about 6 hours of sleep or something, which maybe for some of us is enough. I hear that like some of these big CEOs and stuff get enough sleep, but for a lot of us, that's not enough. And so if you're not getting enough sleep, like I said, it manifests itself in a whole bunch of different ways. And it's nice that you can find something natural to help support that. You know, obviously there's a lot of different routes that you can take, but maybe your first step should be going the natural route. And in this case, you are getting a 30-day supply, 600 milligrams total in the entire bottle, but each dose would be 20 milligrams of the CBD, active CBD. And remember that everything here is, you said it was all third-party batch tested, right?
Right, definitely.
All of the, you know, Sacred Leaf products are all third-party batch tested, and it's $74 to get this home. And then in terms of the ingredients, just tell me again, because it's a combination.
It's a combination of the CBD. You're going to get 20 milligrams per capsule of CBD. Then you're going to get 10 milligrams of valerian root, and then 10 milligrams of melatonin. And
this isn't going to leave me feeling drowsy or having, like, I'm not going to sleep through the workday the next day.
No.
Okay. Because that was always
you know,
my big
that's
fear.
A lot of people who take Ambien. We get several in that want to get off Ambien because that's what they're doing. They're waking up groggy, and then they're like, they can't function. And so we put them on the sleep support as soon as we can.
And, you know, one of the things that I do when I wake up groggy is I have a big old cup of caffeine, right? But then that doesn't always work the same way, honestly. It's better to just target the root of the problem, which is not getting enough sleep. And then when you wake up feeling refreshed, I've actually found that, you know, when I wake up feeling good, I don't drink the coffee as much. Sometimes I'll opt for, I feel like when you wake up feeling good, you make better choices.
Right.
You'll make the, you know, the smoothie or the fresh fruit choice in the morning. But when I'm not feeling good, I want like, you know, just all the bad, greasy stuff because I just want comfort.
Right.
Right. So I feel like when you're nice and refreshed, you make better choices. And if you need support with that, this has 3 different ingredients that do it. The CBD is certainly one of them. And then you have melatonin and that valerian root. And it's only $74 to get that home. And you take it again. Tell me how long before I go to bed?
30 minutes to an hour before bed.
Okay, 30 minutes to an hour before bed. Okay, so let's move on to organic gummy bears.
Yay.
These are these ones right here?
Right here? These are the vegan
organic
bears
I
right here.
didn't even see those. Okay, so these are vegan organic gummy bears. 0 THC in these. Oh, actually, I should ask you with the sleep pills.
They are 0 THC.
0 THC as well. Okay, so this is going to be a 30 gummy pack, a mix of 3 flavors in each container, which Megan will tell us about, and it's $74 to get it home. Now, each piece will have 25 milligrams of the CBD, but the entire bottle has 750, which is what you're seeing on your screen. So tell me about these, because we have options with and without THC?
Yes, we do. So we have options. The first bottle here is your 0 THC. So kids can also take these. I know a lot of teenagers take these as well. It's a stronger dose for them. Usually younger kids, we do a half of a bear. That's about 12 and a half milligrams for them. The thing about the gummies is they're slow release. So they're going to last throughout the whole day. So if they're going to school and they're having problems focusing, you know, I know with ADD, ADHD, my son has ADHD. So we give him a bear before he goes, and then he's good all day. So
Okay.
the other option is the full spectrum bear. This is going to be the one with that trace amount of THC, which is your 0.3% or less.
Okay.
Same flavors. This one will have a little bit more of a terpene taste in the full spectrum because remember, full plant.
Right.
Okay.
What are the flavors?
It's cherry, orange, and lemon.
Okay, so in each bottle, there's a little mix of bears, and they're all cherry, orange, and lemon. And I see they're like a little sugar coated too, so they're sweet.
They have a little bit of sugar coating on the outside. Okay, who doesn't love that?
Well, I mean, it just makes it easier to take, your supplements essentially. Now, who is it? Something that's slow acting. Who is the ideal person? That would benefit from these organic gummies.
Right. So whether it's before school or even if it's for a long day of work, having one of these in the morning was really going to help last throughout the whole day. So that's why we like these. That milligram is perfect for that. Somebody for the full spectrum, what's nice about this one is it's really actually good at night too. Like if you are having problems sleeping, you can take one of these about 30 minutes to an hour also before bed because you're going to get that entourage effect. With full spectrum, you have those terpenes, you have all those cannabinoids. So you're going to get a little bit more of a relaxed feel with that. So, or even stress, the high stress and anxiety as well.
Now, can we use it? Is this something we have to use daily, or can we use it like if we have, something special that's like making us anxious or just, a stressful week at work and it's just that week?
Right.
Can you do that?
So I call gummies like emergency gummies because that's kind of how I take my gummies. I don't take them daily. I take them when I want to or when I need to, or when I'm feeling a certain way and I just, want to kind of calm down. Or if I want to just taste a really delicious gummy, I do that all the time. So, because I take a tincture daily. So if I take a tincture daily, it's maybe one day is just one of those days, or maybe traffic's getting to you a little bit. I'm from Houston, so you guys know that traffic is a nightmare.
Yep.
So I'll have an edible, and be good to go.
We're in our studio in New York City, which also does not have the best reputation for having easy traffic. Now, with these, I should ask as well, are we supposed to stick to the dose? Do we add based on how we're feeling? How does that work?
Right. So these, since they are 25 milligrams each, usually one is plenty. So you can take up to 2, but you want to wait at least 2 hours before you do take another one because it can take up to 2 hours depending on your digestive system. Just wait 2 hours and make sure, it's not going to be harmful. It's just going to make you probably more tired and sleepy if you do have more than what your body has already absorbed.
Gotcha. Okay, so $74 for these. Again, there's 2 options for you. One has THC, one doesn't have THC, but they're the same price. $74, 30 gummies in a bottle. You'll see that the serving size will say 2, but just as Megan explained, 1 is usually enough for small children, half a gummy bear. And although you may not want to give them the one with the THC, but half a gummy bear. And then if you use that one, as an adult, before you take that second one, just wait the full 2 hours, as Megan suggested, just so that, you know what you're getting yourself into. You don't get too sleepy because the whole point is to relax, not like fall asleep at work.
And sometimes too with edibles too, like I know customers only take edibles. They don't want a tincture, which is fine, but wait a couple days, build it in your system before you take another berry. Like even with the kids, if you're doing half a berry, it's okay. It takes some time to build up CBD in your system, and everybody's different. So give it some time. If you want to add a little bit more, then add a little bit more.
And I'm sure if we're using a tincture and something like an edible, a gummy or something, then maybe our dose would be a little different.
Yeah, it's going to be less. Yes. Yep.
Okay. So now we're going to move on to what Megan told me was the beginner version of edibles. So we'll talk about these, but basically there's 3 flavors to choose from. There's, wait, am I looking at this correctly?
Yeah, so basically, just like the bears here, we have both options of full spectrum. So the full spectrum products are going to be in the jars, and then your 0 THC options are going to be in the bags. So for the kids or the people who get drug tested, go for the bags. This is a great beginner start because they're 10 milligrams each instead of 25.
I see. That's a big difference.
And then the full spectrum, same thing. They're 10 milligrams in each edible. You're still getting 30 per container and 30 per pack. But these are going to be the ones with THC. So it's not going to make you high. It's a trace amount.
Right.
You know, but it's there. So if you get drug tested, we highly recommend that you stick to the 0 THC.
And all of them are $29. And there's also a couple of choices. So in this case, we have the peach. These are the ones with the THC, the ones in the jar.
Right.
So we have the peach rings, which are like those candies that you remember. We have blue raspberry, which was always my favorite candy growing up. And then we also have the strawberry and cream. Now with the ones that don't have THC, I could actually show you on the back what it looks like because the back is clear. So this is the peach rings. Actually, can we get up close to like take a look at these? I'm just gonna flip them around because we also have sour gummies with these. So I just wanna
I can hold
be able to, oh, here we go. Okay, cool.
Got it?
Yeah, or actually here, put it right there. Perfect. So with these, it's a little different. These don't have THC. Remember, only 10 milligrams per serving. These are the sour gummy bears or sour bears. These are the blue raspberry like little drops. They look nice and big.
They're really good.
These are gummy worms just next to there. And then here are the peach rings. So I mean, these look really nice and tasty. I am obsessed with gummy bears. Like I have to have gummy bears every single day. So if I had to choose a form to get a supplement, I'm going to choose a gummy supplement because that's the only thing that I will take consistently. And I mean, look at how yummy these look.
They are
so
really good.
Of course, if you're using it, you know, for kids or something, I mean, they're going to beg you to take, you're going to have to actually control them to not take too many because they're going to want to eat the whole bag.
We actually won at our last CBD Expo. We won the best tasting gummy out of everybody there.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't realize. I assumed that they would all kind of taste the same.
Nope.
No. Okay.
We get a lot of complaints of people coming in because sometimes the especially with full spectrum, depending on like the terpene blend with that, it can be pretty earthy and herbally, and you know some people are like, oh, I just want to enjoy my gummy. I mean, that's why we like gummies is we want them to taste good.
Right. Now the full spectrum means that it has the THC,
yes,
right? Those are the jars.
Yes, the 0.3% or less. So I'll move this out of the way.
Yeah.
So the jars are your full spec, and then your bags are the 0.
Got it. So the bags are definitely appropriate for all ages, and then the jars are, I mean, can also be, but they have the THC,
right?
So
exactly.
it's
so
more
if you're
for
getting
adults.
drug tested, you know, just stick to the 0, and if not, then enjoy the full spec.
And they're each bag or jar is $29. Sorry, I'm just going to lift this up here so you can see. The entire bag or jar has 300 milligrams of that active CBD. But again, each portion, and you can see right there on your screen, each portion is 10 milligrams per piece. So it's a great starter pack because the gummy bears that we talked about earlier was 25. Because these are 10, it's a great place to start if you've never done it before. And so how many of these do I take? What's the time lag? How does that work?
Right, so we say since they are beginners, so 1, then 1 to 2, and then that should be plenty. So start with 1, see how you do. Like I said, give it up to 2 hours, and then you can add a second one if you need to. So
just as we talked about with the gummy bears before, you still want to wait 2 hours, you know, to fully feel the effects before you start taking a second or anything like that.
Right, and it's not going to be a high or anything like that. The effects that some people do get, it's going to be that clear, calm focus, and that's kind of what we're looking for when you're taking an edible.
So all you have to do is choose your favorite candy flavor, or, you know, feel free to pick up more than one. Why not? It's only $29 each bag. So, and you can even mix and match. If you want an option with THC, an option without THC, you can do that as well. I'm only going to flip this around because I think it's easier for you to get a feel for the flavors when you can actually, you know, see what they look like. So these are the sour gummy bears. These here are the peach rings. I mean, it looks like the classic, you know, peach rings that we love. These are the gummy worms just here. And then next to that, we have the blue raspberry drop, where they call them blue raspberry puffs. They're nice, puffy, like big treats there. So you have that for the options without THC. With THC, you also have peach rings, and then you also have blue raspberry, and you have strawberries and cream. So there is a different option there if you want to kind of mix and match. You know, maybe you get some sour bears and the strawberry and cream with listen, we all have our favorite candy. I would not be able to choose between any of these because I actually really like all of those flavors, and blue raspberry was definitely my favorite flavor growing up. I was like obsessed with it. So $29 each of these. You just have to decide on your flavor, and then do you want THC or do you not want THC? It's a great place to start if you've never tried edibles before, because it has 10 milligrams per serving. So, it's just a lighter feel, great place to start, and also really nice and age appropriate for the younger ones, because these candies, the ones in the bags, do not have THC. The ones in the jars do. So just an option for you. Let's move on now to the hard candies. So these jars over here are the hard candies. $74 to get these home. You'll notice a couple of different options here as well. Some say full spectrum, some say broad spectrum. Each bottle is 750 milligrams for the entire bottle. And in terms of flavors, you'll see the full spectrum is the lemon drop.
Yeah.
And that means it has THC in it. And the one that's the broad spectrum, that one is the option of watermelon or lemon drop. So just a little bit of a different choice there. So tell me, why would I want a hard candy versus a chewy gummy?
Right. So some people are wanting that tincture-like experience, and the only way to do that is if you're going to suck on your gummy. So if you're not going to be able to suck on the gummy, because most people can't, they just want to chew it up and swallow it, then that's why we have the hard candies. So they are hard candies. So you are going to suck on those. They are going to absorb, that CBD is going to absorb in the mouth, into the bloodstream, like you were going to take a tincture. The tincture, remember, you can put it underneath the tongue, the sublingual method. So that's basically why we have the hard candies. It's a faster response than a gummy. And so a lot of people do like that.
And I think too, sometimes when I have a hard candy, it helps kind of soothe the throat a little bit, just because I'm like lubricating in the way you're, sucking on it like long term.
Right. Another way to look at that too is we do have people with sore throat, or maybe they're having dental work done, and it's really beneficial, either swish the tincture around in your mouth, or you can suck on the hard candy, and that will help with that.
Yeah, actually, my dentist, who's also my best friend, hates that I love gummies. She's like, the chocolate's better because of your teeth and all that. So in that case, maybe the hard candy or the tincture would be for you. You won't upset your dentist. Now tell me about the flavors here, the lemon drop and the watermelon hard candy. Right, what do those taste like?
When you were a kid, if you've ever had the lemon drops, that's exactly what.
Wait, those sour kind of lemon drops?
Yes.
Oh.
That's what they taste like. And the watermelon is going to be more of like just a hint of watermelon. It's not overpowering. So
is that one sour?
Light. It's not sour.
Okay.
No. So, and it's not overly sweet either. So they're very, very good. It's hard to just have one. But dosage with these are going to be the same as the bears. Remember, let's start off with one because they are 25 milligrams. So you cannot split these in half. So I wouldn't start it with the kids just because it is a full dose of 25 milligrams.
Okay.
Unless they're at least a teenage age, that would be fine. But one is good. If you feel like you need a second one, wait at least 2 hours.
Okay. So same with all the gummies. We keep hearing the same thing. If you start with one, wait 2 hours before you take that second one, just so you make sure you're getting the full feeling, because it will vary based on, your digestion, and, it depends on weight and, female, male, there's so many factors. So you want to make sure that you give yourself enough time to really process it.
Right.
And just to quickly review, the top of the show had topical pain treatment kinds of products, right? Pain creams, pain salves, foot creams for pain. We have a 4-piece bundle where you save over $100 if you buy it that way, with a bath bomb, which is not pictured here, but it's part of this little pack here. And then we moved on into edibles. Now with edibles, we started with a sleep support system, which is about helping you get a full restful night's sleep. And then we moved on into the fun candy stuff, which is, the gummies. These are 25 milligrams per serving. Or per gummy? Per gummy. And then we moved into the beginners. These are 10 milligrams per piece of that CBD. These have THC. These don't have THC. This is kind of a recurring theme that you'll find throughout the show. Same with the hard candies. These do not have THC, but this one does. The options here are lemon. And then if you don't want the THC, you have lemon or watermelon. The lemons are more sour, like your favorite childhood candy growing up. And then the watermelon is just more sweet. $74 for these to get home. And how many come in a container?
30. It's a 30.
Oh, 30.
It's a
Okay.
30-day supply if you do really well with just one candy.
Okay.
And that's perfect. So.
Okay. So then moving on to our last edible of the show. These are honey sticks. Now, what's different about this is that you're getting, so the honey sticks are $95, but it's a 24 pack. So each stick, right, 50 milligrams.
Yes, each 50 milligrams of CBD, and it is 0 THC.
So each stick has 50 milligrams of the CBD, but now when we multiply that by 24, which comes in this pack, we're talking about 1,200 milligrams of that CBD. So that's where you get the $95 price,
Right.
because you're getting 24 of these. So how do I use a honey stick?
So I don't know. As a kid, did you ever have honey sticks?
No, I have to say honey is not my favorite thing. I like it in hard candies though.
Okay.
But the liquid, does this have, because it's honey, does it have all those good benefits for?
But it needs to be raw organic honey for you to get the benefits from it. So
Okay.
And this is raw and organic. It's going to be, basically you can just cut the top off here.
Mhm.
If you want to share the stick with somebody, that's perfect because that's 25 milligrams each. I know a lot of people like to do that.
Oh, just cut it in half.
Cut it in
you
half.
Get a stick,
and
I
you
get a
can
stick.
just take it, eat it straight up. You can put it in your coffee in the morning. If, let's say, you can't stop drinking coffee, so you get jittery and you get anxiety and you aren't pleasant,
Mhm.
put some CBD honey in there and you'll be a little more pleasant. And at night, if you like tea, if you need help sleeping, this is awesome in tea before you go to bed too.
See, I like honey in tea. I like honey in coffee. I can never take the full spoonful. I think my grandma kind of traumatized me because she used to force me when I was sick. But I used to see these sticks all the time at county fairs.
Yep.
They would always have a table with a bunch of these, and they had a bunch of flavors.
As a kid, that was my favorite booth. I always Mom, are they here yet? Are they here yet? And I would run, and they had all different flavors of honey sticks, and I would grab one of each because they're 10 cents each, and I would have a whole big handful.
It was the only thing you could buy as a kid at the fair, because everything was, $10 lemonade, $10 hot dog, $10 everything. But you could buy a honey stick because it was, only a quarter, 10 cents or whatever. So you're getting a 24 pack, not just one honey stick, but all 24 in one of these little packages here. Each honey stick is 50 milligrams. So if you split it with a friend, or if you break it apart throughout your day, whatever it might be, then that would be 25 milligrams if you were to cut it in half. But because it's a 24 pack, you're getting 1,200 milligrams total. You can use it day and night, which is really nice. Sometimes when we're eating a sugary candy, we may not want to do it at night because the sugar kind of perks us up a little bit. This is nice. Honey is very soothing. It's soothing for the throat. It's got that kind of, it's almost like lavender. I think of honey and lavender and oatmeal and all these things as being very soothing. So you can use it day and night and not worry about that. And it is $95 to get that home. So just to quickly review, top of the show was all topical products, really focused on pain and pain relief, more like it. And then we had some edibles, some more internal products. And that started with the sleep support capsules. And then we moved into the fun gummies. The gummies with THC, without THC, hard gummies, hard gummies doesn't make sense. Hard candies or the soft gummies. And then finally, we ended here with the honey stick. So it's a lot of different ways to try CBD, try it with THC, try it without THC. Get that start into your daily or lifestyle kind of routine. But if you've never tried it before, then this is a good place to start, just as a reminder, because these are, first of all, our favorite candy gummies from your favorite sugary sweet store. But because it's only 10 milligrams, it's a really nice place for a beginner, including children. And then if you want it with THC, these are 10 milligrams, but they have THC in them as well. So that's what the entire show looks like. You can check it out at surlagrace.com. You can shop for all Sacred Leaf products there. We even have other products from Sacred Leaf on our website, like beauty products and things like that, which have a lot of benefits because of that CBD. But other than that, thank you so much, Megan, for joining us. And I forgot, we also have pet products from Sacred Leaf as well. Yeah, so there is quite an assortment, a huge assortment on the website if you want to check that out. And what's nice is, there's a lot of variety with the THC, without the THC, even in the topical products. So that's something that you should definitely check out on the website. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us. Once again, my name is Cathy